Rocco, how nice was it to just get the series and the homestand started like this?
Marnie, it was beautiful. That's exactly what we wanted to see. The pitchers went out there and threw the ball good. We had a couple of hits, a couple of good at bats with some guys on base and brought some guys home. Always could bring a few more home, but the way that it came together with a nice defensive play at the end of the game too was great to see. Tim Beckham coming in and contributing at a spot that he's played. He's played it a little bit, but I mean that's just a great play and something that really stamped the game for us.
And was some of that shift because Polanco came out of the game, and is he okay?
Polo banged his knee up pretty good on a slide. I believe it was the slide at home plate. If he mentions anything to anybody ever, you know that it's something to pay attention to. So we had to take him out of the game, and that's why Louis was at second and Tim was over at first base. But worked out pretty good.
How important is Kepler, getting Kepler going for you?
Well, I mean, he's been as important of a cog in the machine here since I've been here as anyone. And he always plays a good right field. He does his job out there for you every day. But getting him rolling at the plate and, watching what he can do and going out there against the left-hander and having, complete at-bats tonight, extending the lineup and getting other people to the plate with people on base. Just keeping it moving like that was great. And I think, getting him involved too, just getting him, out there and on the bases and back in the game, from that extended break that he had because of the toe. Seeing him back out there, getting him back out there, I think is good for him too. I think it's getting his blood flowing a little bit. And we're going to be looking for, really meaningful contributions from him from here on out. He's a very important player for us.
I think it kind of lifts a weight when he lines one to left and scores one and breaks his own personal offer, but your guys' team offer in those situational as well.
Yeah, it's really great for him to get rolling. It helps, it kind of lightens everything up. Everything becomes a little bit easier when you're, lining balls all over the ballpark. But we needed that too. I mean, we needed someone to come to the plate and just bring the guy home. And, Kep really got us going in that way and continued on the entire game with, really, really nice at-bats.
And you talked about needing better at-bats in those situations. Up and down the lineup, I think 8 of your guys had hits. Did you see the at-bats better today, or was that just kind of how it fell?
We saw some good at-bats. We always want more. We're always going to want more. We're never going to be satisfied. We're certainly not going to be satisfied with, the runners in scoring position kind of situation that we've had over the last week. But even when we are rolling, even when we are bringing guys home, you can never think you're doing enough. We always need more. We always want more. And we need to be hungry in that sense.
Miranda, I think, is third or fourth in franchise history in RBIs at this point of his career. Is that kind of a random thing, or is having a nose for run situations like that, run scoring situations, a distinct skill?
Well, I'm going to give him credit because he's a good hitter, and good hitters who are not hesitant when they get to the plate in those situations, I think, have the ability to drive in a few more runs. I do believe that. We saw that a little bit with a player from the past. We saw that with Eddie Rosario in some ways, and he'd go up there. And Miranda, I think, has that type of fearless nature to him when he's out there in the batter's box. So he can use the whole field. Like I said, I'd say this all the time, but he adjusts to different pitches well. He can start in one place in the zone looking for a certain pitch and end in a completely different part of the zone and hit a line drive somewhere. You don't see that very often, but when there are people on base, you do feel good when he's coming to the plate.
What did you think about the way Thielbar finished the sixth?
Yeah, I mean, for most of this year, early on, maybe for a short period of time, he was kind of figuring out just his season and how, whatever you want to call it. for a while now, he's been really, really freaking good. And when you send him out there in the most important spots, you expect him to go out there and get the job done. That's a really difficult spot that we sent him out into, and he just goes out there and makes pitches. He's just as good as, it feels like he's at his best a lot. And some of those pitches that he throws, and he's got a unique mix, we know that, and some of them, they throw a different look at the hitter, with the ride on the fastball and the big breaking ball and the occasional other pitches that he mixes in, but the execution has been just excellent in those spots. And like I said, hot, tight situations where nothing but perfection is really going to do, and it was a pretty amazing outing again for him.
A lot of emotion from him too on that strikeout. That doesn't seem like calm and cool.
Yeah, he knew what a big spot that was, and he knew how important it was for us to get through that inning and not give up anything. And he made the pitches, so he can do the fist pump.
Knowing that he was probably going to end up facing two right-handers once you brought him in, a right-handed batter, do you feel comfortable with him putting him in that situation?
Yeah, he's a guy that can really pitch to anyone. I don't know what the actual numbers are that he's put up this year in those instances, but he competes very well against guys from both sides of the plate. And there are times he might even be better against right-handers. I truly believe that based on how he's throwing the ball at different points in the year. But he's a guy you're not really worried about the moves that are being made on the other side because he has the execution and stuff to get those guys out.